Hello, good evening. So siguro nandito na lahat ng speakers. Uh, More on, we're inviting ng ibang mag-listen sa space natin. So, yan. So, GM, everyone, magandang gabi sa lahat. Welcome to our space. So, quarter 2, balik tanaw, saan na ba tayo? So, ako po si Marix Dining and I'll be your host for today's discussion. So, before we dive in, so here's a quick reminder lang po and disclaimers. This space is for entertainment and educational purpose only. This is not a financial advice. Always do your own research before making any decisions. Uh, we are here to share ideas and insights as a community. So before that, no, I'm excited to introduce to you my co-host for tonight. And we have our list of speakers. So our co-host, we have here Sir Ruben Takumba, co-founder of the Baudify community. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, GM, everyone. Thanks for coming sa host
Yeah,
natin.
yeah. Good evening, sir. So we have also our second co-host for tonight. We have Sir Ken Natividad, founder of Katropa and lead moderator of Zeta Chain Filipino Telegram Group. Hello, sir. GM, sir. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. So, no, that's our host for tonight. Also, we have our list of speakers. Sir, you can also introduce our list of speakers. So we have Sir Tommy Boy, content creator and a Web3 gamer. Hello, sir. GM, sir.
Hello, GM. Rinig ako?
Yes, sir. Unique, sir. Thank
Ayun,
you.
hello
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Ayan.
So we have also Ma'am Gigi, a Web3 content and contributor and a Web3 content creator. Hello, Ma'am Gigi. Good evening po.
Hello, good evening.
Ayan. Klaro po, ma'am. Yes po. Hello, we have also a Web3 trader here. We have Sir Lowell Gray, Web3 trader. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Sir GM. Good evening po.
And also, last but not the least, we have a special guest for tonight, lead senior Watson Sherlock, and the first winner of Sherlock Code Base audit contest for Zeta Chain Universal Blockchain, Sir G. Aldon. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yan. So, yan, no? So, siguro set na tayong lahat, no? Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa pag-join for us for today. So, tonight, we'll be having our quick recap on Zeta Chain's highlights, no? Madali lang to, no? So, we will look back. Ano ba yung mga updates na nangyari on Zeta Chain on the past quarter of the Zeta Chain? So, we have also Sir Ruben here to also discuss all about what's happening with Zeta Chain on the past months. So first, there are many happenings in the space. So first that was happening that who has progress with Zeta Chain is the 5 million users. No? Si Zeta Chains are na-reach nga yung 5 billion users on the spending to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So that's the huge update that was happening with Zeta Chain. The second update was the Lightning upgrade. So the transaction now are 3 times faster. So from 5 seconds, it downs to 2 seconds finality, which is still fully decentralized. So that's what's happening with Zeta Chain. So the Lightning upgrade. So the third was a Zeta Chain Summer. No, so this is a series move to earn. No, it was happening last month. More people joining here, especially the ambassadors, the content creators, and also hackathons that are engaged for builders that happening in other countries. No? There are also happening, I'm also one who joined with the Zeta Zen Summer. So there are lots of opportunities that were given to the users and to all the uh, builders happening from the space. So it was really fun, excitement when having that Zeta Zen Summer. So the second update that was happening also with Zeta Chain is the fiat on ramp. So Zeta Chain was already, yeah, you can now purchase Zeta Chain directly using Coinbase. No, it was released last quarter also. So it was fiat on ramp with via Coinbase. So it was a huge update with Zeta Chain. And also there are lots happening with ecosystem growth. No, lot of applications that was built with Zeta Chain. Most especially the Substance X that we will also discuss for tonight. The random bug fun. So it was very fun. You can now ape your the trends now in the market. So you can use the bug fun for that one, random bug fun, showcasing the potential of on-chain technology. So it is very huge updates with Zeta Chain. And lastly, the Sherlock Audit Contest, which was won by Sir G. No, we are happy. No? We are very proud to say that one of the speakers tonight are here to share his expertise on with regards to the audit contest of Sherlock with Zeta Chain. So it is an honor no na meron tayong isang speaker for tonight na mag-share ng kanyang expertise about this. So, no, so that's all, no? Ang daming mga nangyari pa. Sir Ruben, yeah, you can also additionals with other updates with Zeta Chain.
Yes, yes. GM, everyone. Thank you for coming sa ating, I think this is the first community Twitter space for Zeta Chain Filipino for this month. And we plan we could do this on a regular basis, siguro twice a month, to discuss some of like local sentiments and other tech na lumalabas sa space natin, lalong-lalo na towards Zeta Chain. So, as you have heard with Sir Marix, ang daming tawag nito, ang daming update for Q2 with regards to Zeta Chain way back like 2 years ago when Zeta Chain was started on the concept and narrative of implementing an omni-chain, then transitioning into more mature like in the context of interoperability for majority of the existing blockchain. So the years that it's been running is basically onboarding different blockchain, gaya ni Ethereum, Binance, Base, some of the layer 2s like Arbitrum, and of course, yung pinaka-native talaga nila na concept is Bitcoin. Putting Bitcoin network natively on Zeta Chain. So walang nagbabago, no wrapping, no bridge concept, but basically a native asset that would amplify further the use case of Bitcoin towards like for example DeFi. So I think sa mga na-update nga ni Sir Marix then is the most evident then is really the conceptualization of like upgrading the blockchain itself. Like for example, yung execution natin, yung finality, when it comes to Zeta Chain Lightning na improvement, this was just an initial na ginawa. Then hopefully, ang dami pang pwede ma-add up eventually. That would basically amplify further na the recent narrative for Zeta Chain is really more as a universal blockchain. So basically, it covers everyone in the concept of onboarding, in the concept of abstraction o yung tinatawag natin na UI, UX, usability na madali lang. So yun yung mga some of the things na ginagawa ng Zeta Chain to really position itself as a universal blockchain. Now, with regards towards that, I think isa sa mga pinaka-evident talaga, kahit ako nga nagulat, that actively, most of like the infrastructure blockchain natin ngayon, they've been running and there are lots of application layer that are running on top of it. And most of the time, we heard what we called audits. And we hear called vulnerabilities, exploits that are happening. Medyo madami, way back like to 2020, the first DeFi summer, Now, it came to maturity level, parang lumiit yung numbers of that as we progress because I think the industry is really trying to improve furthermore and very tawag ito aware na sila on how they able to deal, and one of that aspect is really more on the auditing setup. And it was just like a single day when I found out na meron palang ginawang major uplift na ginawa si Zeta Chain, which is I think ako din nagulat na is really very serious on how to make the existing infrastructure fully secure. So I think nag-participate sila doon sa Sherlock nga nagkaroon ng tinatawag natin na auditing contest for Zeta Chain. So kakaibang audit ito in the sense it's not basically like auditing on the application layer. Parang I think tatanungin natin if I'm correct, but more on I think on the infrastructure, yung dev code talaga, I mean code talaga ng infrastructure ng Zeta Chain. Of course, for the main purpose really is to make yung foolproof yung Zeta Chain to really accelerate on its trajectory as an interop and of course a DeFi powerhouse na hindi basta-basta siya ma-exploit. Of course, importante yun. I think user asset is the topmost concern, of course, to make it safe. The more the environment infrastructure is safe, the more I think consumer can come in. So without further ado, I think I'll be asking a few questions from Sir Gildon. But before with that, can you give some short intro, Sir Gildon, on what you are doing on the space, sir?
Sure, Sir Robs. So first of all, thank you for inviting me and having me as join this podcast. A little about me. I'm a I'm a Filipino security researcher, and I've been working as a Web3 security researcher the past few years, and I'm now what they call a senior Watson at Sherlock, and Sherlock is a auditing platform. They host audit contests that is open to anyone in the world. So, and I had the opportunity and the pleasure to lead the Zeta Chain contest, which I ended up winning also. So, yeah, that's a little about me. My expertise in auditing is contracts and blockchains. Specifically, I like auditing cross-chain messaging protocols. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. Now, of course, we are very curious on, like, for example, yung niche na where you belong. Because, like, for example, maybe some of our audience are not really familiar with it. So, we would like to give a bit taste of it. How is it working? So, like, for example, my first question is, like, para sa mga hindi familiar, ano yung contest na sinalihan mo, sir? And anong klaseng, like, bug or issue ang hinahanap doon? Like for example, yung auditing contest when it comes to Zeta Chain.
So yung mga contests, kasi yung Zeta Chain na contest, bale, in-audit namin yung actual blockchain ng Zeta Chain, yung observer system, pati yung contracts ng Zeta Chain. Kasi may gateway contracts ang Zeta Chain. They have, itong gateway contracts are deployed to all the connected chains that they support. So including Ethereum, Bitcoin, well, walang contract sa Bitcoin, pero may logic din sila for dealing with Bitcoin. What else? Ton, Solana, anyway, all those connected chains that they are currently supporting and are planning to support soon. So, bale, ang hinahanap namin is any bug related that could lead, especially those bugs that could lead to loss of funds, permanent loss of funds, or bugs that could lead to funds getting locked, or any other bug that could destroy the user experience for users and lead to loss of credibility for Zeta Chain.
Okay, got it. Thanks for that, Sir Gildan. Now, another follow-up questions, like uh, on your auditing career, or maybe you can point it out on the recent auditing contest that you joined, sir, for Zeta Chain. What was the like some of the challenging on when you come when you like face like an auditing contest or an auditing session that you can share with us, sir?
Okay. One of the main challenges, especially itong sa Zeta Chain contest, was that it was such a big audit. It was because normally audit contests, there's this audit contest lasted 4 weeks. Ngayon, pag 4 weeks, a good estimate would be like 350 lines of code per day. So if you multiply that by 4 weeks, I don't know, maybe 4,000, I'm not sure. But itong sa Zeta Chain na contest kasi it was the scope was around 60 plus thousand lines of code. So malaki talaga. And syempre, big projects like Zeta Chain, which is a complicated system, may infra, tapos may smart contracts pa, may blockchain, may yung observer system nila. So it's not a typical audit contest where because other audits and other audit contests are just focused on the smart contracts. Ito infra plus contracts. So yan, medyo mas challenging to. So yan.
Okay. Yeah, I fully agree. Parang like you're auditing the whole infrastructure. So I think I could really imagine how many lines of code yung nako-cover nyo with regards to that. And of course, the severity of like the concept of contest, andun pa yon yung parang pressure siguro. So it will really sum up na challenging talaga siya in a sense. Now, I think I'll be down to my second last question, sir. Now, like on the career setup, how did you came like an auditor? Did you start it on an educational background, or you just like basically engage self-study, self-upscaling, and of course joining like what we are doing now, like community, just really like somehow to inspire some of our listener here that they would be like, for example, eyeing to push through this niche also to become a security auditor.
Sure. How I started, I I already have a background in software development. I was a software developer in Web 2 for about 10 years before shifting to Web 3. And so I guess that helped, but that's not necessary kasi madami namang iba na auditor na successful sa contest, successful sa auditing career nila kahit walang software background. Um, so how did I get into it? I studied, self-studied, and madaming resources online, madami ng resources available. And Twitter is useful in in Web3 security and in crypto in general. So I have a Twitter account. I follow the people that were sharing resources online and keeping up with what's going on in the space. And yeah, so basically self-study and just consistency and make sure na syempre, if you want to learn this, it's difficult, so you need focus. Kung pwede 100% din yung ginagawa, that's the only thing you do for at least 6 months, then better para mas malaki yung chances of success.
Yeah, I think I fully agree. Yun nga, I mean, we start from like not really scratch, but of course, the industry. The good thing with now is yung learning then now which the industry, like the blockchain industry, are pushing is democratizing the learning aspect. So everyone can basically learn from their own pace. Of course, it's a good avenue that you can go to a community and of course get some person there who are somehow like expert in the sense to amplify further your learnings and testing. So hindi yun nakukuha overnight, and I fully agree with that. And it pays a lot of hard work, but eventually, in the end. So, guys, if you have interest in this, this is a very lucrative, I think, niche also in the industry, and I think foundational. Importante talaga siya kasi nga everyone should be secure, and auditor is really like building blocks of the industry, to put the foundation really strong when it comes to security. Now, I think I'll go down to the last question, sir. So we're done. I think everyone could basically relate. Actually, nagulat talaga ako that, I mean, this is really a very powerful industry in the sense, based on my reflection, because gumagastos talaga sila ng malaking amount of assets, and like for example budget, just to make sure na yung tawag dito, yung security involves is really masolidify. Uh, hindi sila nag-hold back. Like for example, the price pool was 200K. That's really a lot in the sense for us Filipino. Now, I want to ask this question, sir. How does it feel to be reign as top one for the 200K pool Sherlock auditing contest for Zeta Chain? Maybe you can share a bit the winning moments.
How does it feel, Sir Robs?
Yep, sir. Your experience. Siya ba yung pinaka topmost contest that you experience with the highest prize pool, or based on your like for example yung sa career mo when it comes to this?
Yes, yes. It felt great. um, yeah, I think it's a highlight of my career itong Zeta Chain contest kasi oh yun nga, it's the first, it's the largest, it's the contest with the largest prize pool that I've led. Kasi sa Sherlock you could, since may mga senior Watson na role, and yun senior Watson ako, and I could lead contests. So this is the first contest na ganito kalaki yung prize pool, 200,000 USD. And then ako yung nag-lead nun. And of course, and then I ended up winning it. So I ended up getting a huge, big chunk of the pot. So I'm just really thankful that, I was able to pull it off. And I'm hoping for more opportunities like that in the future. Maybe I could beat the record that I've achieved this time. So yeah,
Right,
yun lang po.
100%, sir. And guys, what's really the good thing here is, yun nga, Sir Sheldon is native Filipino. So, nakaka-proud din that there are really, Filipino are really top-notch also in the industry. Tawag ito, we've been banner also in the industry. So, lahat tayo may chance. Let's put this as an inspiration that everyone can do, and might be in the near future na hindi masyado busy si Sir Hildon, then he could probably collaborate to share his knowledge, basically like on doing some IRL teachings like that, and sharing some informations. So we'll definitely be doing that also kasi of course to really strengthen also no na yung trajectory ng mga Pilipino talent resource pool can be amplified. So I guess thank you so much, Sir Yeldon, for your time. Sir, that will be my last question, sir. Marix Gaming, it's your turn, sir, for the other speakers.
Yeah, no, it was very nice and very inspiring na meron tayong isang native, no, ng Pilipinas na nanalo sa isang napakalaking contest ng Zeta ng Sherlock, which is the audit contest. No? It's very inspiring. So next, no, we will be to other speakers. May mga katanungan din ako sa mga speakers natin. First is to Sir Tommy Boy. Hello, sir.
Hello, GM. Rinig ako. Sorry,
Yes, sir.
nag-disconnect
Yes,
ako.
sir. Yes, sir. Rinig ka. Sir, may tanong ako, sir. No? Kung babalikan natin yung quarter to, no, anong masasabi mong pinaka-importanting technological milestone sa Web3? No? Saan tayo aspeto na pinaka-umuusan?
Um, kung sa ano naman, no, I think in terms dun sa technological milestone. I think yun yung pag-angat no ng layer 2 scaling solutions no. Kasi 'di ba alam naman natin lalo na ngayon grabe na yung pagdami ng mga networks or mga chain 'di ba. So I think it's a good thing also no kasi 'di ba sa layer 2 alam naman natin na dahil din dito naging mas mabilis, mas mura, mas seamless yung paggamit ng blockchain. So yun yung tingin ko na isa sa pinaka-importanteng technological milestone na nangyari sa Web3, yung pag-angat ng layers to scaling solutions.
No,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
nice. Oh, yeah. Tama nga sir, no? Isa rin yun sa mga milestones na makikita natin, which is Zeta Chain are now integrating with the L2. No, marami tayong mga blockchains na na-integrate na rin with regards to Zeta Chains base, isa na yan, isang L2 solutions na naka-integrate na sa Zeta Chain. No? Isa yan sa mga unang ding blockchain ngayon. So it was really fully implemented na sa mainnet na you can transfer natively your assets back to base. So thank you so much, Sir Tommy Boy, for that one. So yeah. So my next
Thank you.
question is to Ma'am Gigi. Hello, Ma'am. Good evening po.
Hello, good evening po.
Yeah, yes, Ma'am. Good evening. Ma'am, ang tanong ko po, saka pong umusad yung space natin, marami tayong mga nakitang challenges sa quarter 2, no? Marami tayong mga challenges na na-encounter. So, ano ang nakita mong pinakamalaking hadlang, no, sa pag-develop ng blockchain technology ngayon?
Ang pinakamalaking hadlang sa pag-develop, actually sa pag-balance ng scalability, security, and decentralization. Kasi ito yung tinatawag na blockchain trilemma. And then kasi sa presently, mahirap pagsabayin yung tatlo. Kasi kung pipiliin mo yung sobrang bilis ng blockchain, madalas nako-compromise yung security at pagiging decentralized ng blockchain. And then kung gagawin mo rin naman siyang very secured and decentralized, bumabagal naman. So parang ang hirap din siyang pagsabayin at nahihirapan din yung mga developers na gumawa ng applications na like parang tinatawag na killer app na kayang gamitin ng milyon-milyong tao ng sabay-sabay. Tapos I think ayun lang.
Oh, nice. Oh, yes, ma'am, no? Yun nga po yung trilemma na sinasabi nyo is very, talaga. Isa yun sa mga tinitingnan aspeto sa pag-build with regards to blockchain. But, honestly, no, sa ngayon with Zeta Chain, we are proudly to say na yung scalability, yung interoperability ay ginagawang promise na. Hindi lang promise, but ginagawa ng talagang action ni Zeta Chain na ma-integrate sa blockchain, na ma-integrate sa kanilang pinapromise na universal blockchain, which is the finality of 2 seconds. Yun nga po yung kanina na sinabi doon na we are now from 5 seconds finality is 2 seconds. Then yung interoperability, as we know, as we grow, no, yun talaga yung goal ni Zeta Chain is to be a universal blockchain na lahat ng blockchain technology ay makapag-communicate with each other using this platform. So it's good, no? Pero may mga kickback pa rin, may mga pa rin, no? Pero with the ongoing developments, no? Ang dami pa mga developments which is Zeta Chains are doing on the back end. So hopefully, no, in the future na ma-address yung mga ganong problema. Yan, thank you so much, Ma'am Gigi, for that one, ma'am. Thank you po. So next question naman po is to Sir Mighty Trader. Sir, good evening, sir.
GM, good evening po.
Yes, sir. No, I thought, sir, kasi alam ko trader ka, sir, no, di ba? So ito ang tanong ko sa iyo, sir, is since ikaw ay trader, no? So, no, from perspective, no, bakit sa tingin mo maraming users ang nagsimula ng lumipat sa on-chain perps, no? Yung from centralized to decentralized, no? Anong pros and cons po dito na kumpara sa SEX?
So, as trader po, sa perspective kasi ng trader, as of now, maganda talaga yung sa DEX kasi decentralized siya. Tsaka sa SEX naman, um, okay din sa SEX kaso hindi mahawak yung crypto mo, not your keys, not your coins, not your crypto. Kaya marami na-explore ngayon sa DEX kasi transparent tapos ikaw yung control ng money mo. At saka marami ding DEX ngayon na parang centralized exchange din yung experience but trusted siya.
Yes, sir. So, have you tried ba na mag-trade sa sa isang decentralized exchange?
Nakatrial ako sa spot po pero wala pa sa perpetual po. Mostly sa sex pa lang but planning to explore the decentralized or sa on-chain po na trading.
Yeah, nice. Nice. So, it's very, po, no, kasi tonight, isa din po sa mga in the future namin, yung Substance X, which is now can do perpetual trading. So, si Substance X can do same, no? Same sila ng aspect with regards to the trading sa SEX ng perpetual. So, meron na rin in top sa decentralized na exchange, which is the Substance X. So, you can now trader, which is malaki din yung price pool, which is may mga rewards na makukuha, which is 10,000, 100,000 Zeta Chain ang makukuha mo price pool when you trade that of that chain on the trading platform. So, yan, thank you so much, Sir Mighty Trader. So, siguro we will open to the audience, no? Kung may mga katanungan kayo, kung may mga questions pa kayo. So, yung mga natin, yung mga attendees pala natin, we will be having some giveaways, no? Kung sino yung magtatanong, we will be rewarding you to some rewards with kung may mga katanungan. So, magtaas lang po ng kamay. Hello? Yes, Sir Ruben?
Yeah, sa akin naman I would like to add question for Sir Ken kasi I think Sir Ken was been very active on like for example managing the Zeta chain. So how was really the experience of like expanding Zeta chain on the Philippine context? So ano yung mga very relevant actions or nangyayari when it comes to community in the context of Zeta chain yun nga na very heavy on the narrative, on the tech itself. Sir Ken?
Hello sir, good evening. Dinig po ba ako? Hello, dinig po ba ako sir?
Yes, sir. Klaro-klaro po, sir.
Okay. So yun po. So as of now, active na yung Zeta Chain local community. So nag-grow na yung Zeta Chain Twitter account, pati yung Telegram community. And yun nga, habang sa ngayon maraming event, saka maraming updates about Zeta Chain. And I'm making sure na lahat ng yun is dumadaan sa local community ng Zeta Chain. So sa ngayon marami pang parating na activities. May mga games, quizzes. So yun, so sa ngayon, thriving na yung community po ng Zeta Chain. Sir.
Nice. Nga pala, no, si Sir Ken Actividad ay isa sa mga lead moderator ng Zeta Chain Filipino Telegram Group. So, inaanyahan ko po lahat na nandito na mag-join kayo doon. Ang dami mga ginagawang pakulo si Sir Ken doon para maging active at engaging yung community natin sa Zeta Chain. So, may mga bingo, may mga quizzes na ginagawa doon sa Telegram group at siguradong mag-i-enjoy kayo sa pag pumasok kayo sa Telegram group natin. Yes, thank you, Sir Ken. Thank you so much po. So, no, baka may katanungan yung community natin, pwede kayo magtaas ng kamay. We will, para mag-speak kayo sa atin. So, meron po ba magtatanong?
I think si Sir John Pisem, meron siyang question, sir. You can unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Sir Joaquin, okay po.
Ang question ko is, how does Jetta Chain, paano ba niya gina-help ang massive adaptation in terms of tapping leaders like usually manggod para magkaroon manggod ng adaptation sa isang community sa crypto is to tap the leaders, example mga politiko, and kasi sila yung mga yung parang skeptic talaga. How does Jetta Chain find a way to connect with this kind of people? Yun lang.
Sir Ruben, pwede ka maka-ano doon, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, no, sir. Yes, sorry.
Yes. Simulan mo na, Sir Marix. I'll hop in then on the last part.
No. With regards to tapping with yun nga po, sir, sinabi mo kanina, how to reach with those people. Ang daming ginagawa mga activities ni Zeta Chain, sir, no? Like conference, like on the other, yung sa Zeta Chain Summer, maraming hackathons, maraming conferences na ginawa nila on the other part of the countries. Actually, may i-announce naman natin sa Ruben. So, mayroon din mga sa Pilipinas na we will be having including the conferences that happening in part of the Luzon. So, no, Zeta Chin really reaching out, no? With regards naman sa yung sinasabi mong skeptic, yung with regards sa SEC, no? Parang ganun. So, actually, si Zeta Chin, isa sa ginawa nila on the Q1 is they really go to SEC sa America. So, they are tapping, no? Nakipag-usap talaga sila on how this technology in line, no? On what would be the with regards sa government policies, no? So isa yan sa mga ginagawa nila to be connected, no? Hindi talaga makalayo. So with regards naman sa tapping to other leaders like being sa mga ambassadorships, ang daming ginawa rin si Zeta Chain. Actually, ngayon pa lang, no, marami pang opportunities na kahit sino pwedeng masumali sa ambassadorship ng Zeta Chain. So it's very nandun sa post nila sa Discord at you can join, and if ever mayroon kang reach, no, na kaya mo mag-join on to how to deliver Zeta Chain to mass adoption. So pwede kang sumali doon, sir.
Okay,
Sir Ben.
add up ko lang. I think it's a high time, no, na you get involved. It can either be on an IRL setup kasi meron talagang physical facing si Zeta Chain as a community dito sa yung Zeta Chain Filipino who are very actively listening then for feedbacks yung sa mga Filipino. Because I think it's really a challenging one, of course, to navigate. Kasi malaki din yung Pilipinas and different regions. So, it's very important na anyone can, like for example, engage, give feedback, ask questions. Then at the same time, Zeta Chain will be giving opportunities. Kasi ngayon, if you can say sa space, there's really a huge sudden shift that is happening on the space now. Kasi I think when way back first DeFi Summer 2022, 2020, majority of the industry or mga infrastructures on the context of like propagation through community are really heavily attached to marketing. And now, dumating na yung phase na marketing is being democratized. Democratized in the sense that everyone will be able to be a marketer on the context by directly interacting with the chain. Yung tinatawag natin, if you're familiar, yung mga NFO-FI, like the Kaito, which is an AI-based metrics na binabasa niya yung mindshare ng every individual, and that's a really good pivot for the industry, kasi nga hindi na tayo heavily reliant to those marketing agency who are somehow, sometimes, not all, are extractive. So in-extract lang, of course, for profit. Now, dahil sa N4FI, even small accounts can interact, can create contents. It can be a video, a tweet, or an article, an experience on the IRL, or even personal view tied up to a project or sentiments that you want the industry to hear. So this is really a good avenue to amplify the community aspect, because yun nga, meron na tayong another narrative tech which is really aligning and very beneficial to community. I've heard, like for example on Kaito, na kahit nga small accounts are already earning in the concept, kasi basically yun nga, tied up yung mindshare mo, or yung tinatawag natin na mga tawag dito, yung mga content mo na you're trying to pitch up. And I think Zeta Chain is aligning with that. Hindi nga lang, I think, at the moment, align with Kaito. We have another platform which is basically with Galaxy. So parang Kaito din siya na automatically scans for content with regards to like for example, a particular narrative or ano yung track na currently nag-exist from Zeta Chain. So I would really encourage everyone, you have a chance, a bigger chance, like for example, being an ambassador, maybe a contributor directly at the same time. So we have chance to expand in that sense sa setup when it comes to building community for Filipino to get involved.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you so much for that, Sir Ruben. So, okay pa, Sir Joaquin, na masagot po ba yung mga katanungan, sir? Yes, Sir Ruben.
Yeah, on behalf of that, I want to add up another question, because I think this is very timely. Sa lahat ng mga speakers natin ngayon, how challenging ba? Like if you're a content creator, or an ambassador, or even just a regular participants, IRL to online session, like to become like yung mag-grow ka sa community, kasi sinasabi nga nila na on Web3, the barrier of entry is very easy, pero yung problema is how to amplify your relevance to the industry. So I want to get the opinion of our existing mga content creator natin dito and contributor, so we can hear diverse sentiments from them. Guys, roll call mo na lang, Sir Matrix. Marix pala, sorry, Matrix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sino po si Sir Tommy Boy? Kasi alam ko content creator kasi rin. Yes, sir.
Hello. Rinig ako.
Yes, sir.
Ayun. In terms naman dun sa ano no, parang ayun nga dun sa tanong na yun. Ako kasi personally since 2022, nagsimula kasi ako sa Axie Infinity, so sa gaming talaga ako, Web3 games. Kahit ngayon until now, Web3 games talaga ako. And then nag-shift or nag-adapt ako sa content creation 2024, which is last year lang. Pero hindi pa ako like literally known or parang kilala sa kasi ang daming competitors din in terms of lalo na sa gaming, 'di ba? Kung sa gaming streamer ka man or ano ba yung nilalaro mo, Web2 or Web3, ang dami mong competitors sa streaming, 'di ba? Lalo na lalaki pa ako, yun yung ano, parang ano. But anyways, yun nga, marami competitors sa streaming, and then in terms sa content creation, marami rin. Then di pa ako ganun kahusay mag-edit or let's say, gawa ng content in terms of script, and then yun. So, as time goes by, umattend rin ako ng IRL tsaka online events sa mga crypto. Yun nga yung sinasabi nila na always show up lang, magpakita ka lang. So yun, nakilala lang rin ako. And then eventually, although matagal na rin since 3 years na ako dito sa space, I mean, not long enough, not ano, pero pwede na rin yung 3 years ko na experience sa space na to na at least ma-prove ko yung self ko na I can do better and I know better than someone in terms of let's say specific lang na ano let's say sa games, Web3 games, ayun. So dun, I think yung ano ko lang is bottom line, show up lang, just show up lang, magpakita ka lang, yun lang.
Nice. Oo, no. So magpaano talaga yung appearance mo sa space. Yan. So baka sa Ma'am Gigi, ma'am, may madagdag ka, ma'am? Yes po.
For me, actually, sobrang tagal ko na sa space. Like, siguro 2016. Pero nag-start ako as ambassador around pandemic time, 2020 yata or 2021. And then yung first project ko is Telos Blockchain. For me, ang pinagkaiba kasi before, medyo madali lang siyang pasukin kasi wala pa masyadong content creators, or siguro mas ano kasi ngayon, parang mas marami na yung gustong mag-jump in sa mga opportunities kasi ayun nga, medyo educated na din yung yung ibang nasa Web3 na pwede nga tayong pwede tayong mag-earn as content creators. And then one of the challenges na as in nilalabanan ko pa rin hanggang ngayon is yung to show up in public kasi virtually talaga ako. Parang ilang taon na akong nasa virtual lang talaga dahil sa pandemic. Kaya ayun, yun yung pinaka ko na challenge talaga para sa akin. Pero as of now naman, medyo na-overcome ko na din sa tulong ng mga community, lalo na sila sa Robs tsaka sa base, kasi ini-invite nila ako sa mga though nakakahiya, pero first time ko to sa sa space na maging speaker. So ayun. Thank you.
I want to
Yan.
add, Ma'am Gigi, tanong ko lang to, just an additional. Dahil nga yung sinabi mo nga na dumadami na yung content creator ngayon because of, like, for example, the incentives. How was it, like, for example, mas na-amplify pa siya with regards to AI? So do you think AI is a plus or a minus for a content creator? I would like to ask your opinion sa ganyan po, Ma'am Gigi.
Useful din naman kasi yung AI, sir. Actually, yung usually na ginagawa namin is gumamit ng AI and then i-personalize na lang din para hindi siya mag fully AI talaga. Isa din yung sa rewards kasi magkaiba na talaga yung value before kesa ngayon. Kasi ayun, mas marami na yung tools na pwedeng gamitin, like yung sa mind sharing na may ginagawa na lang silang prize pool, specific prize pool bawat project. So parang challenging siya masyado para sa mga content creators kasi pwede na silang hindi kumuha ng ambassadors dahil pwede namang mag-spread ng ng contents yung mga nakikisali sa mind sharing. Ayun lang po.
All good, Sir Marix?
Yes, yes. So, yun no. So, may, yun pa ba si Sir Mighty Trader? Yes, sir.
So, good evening once again. Para naman din sa trading, sa content, medyo mahirap talaga ngayon kasi yung bagong rules ng SEC, actually yung page ko din, dinilit ko kasi mayroong mga post na hindi align sa bagong rules ng SEC. Kasi dati, okay pa naman mag-post para sa content or sa education or sa affiliates. But ngayon, medyo mainit na yung crypto. Tsaka, isa rin sa challenges, yung ginagamit ang crypto ng iba sa scam. At saka, marami ka ding poster kung content creator ka. Yan yung mga challenges. But, ngayon, as trader and building community of traders, um, dumami na din kami. Actually, we're 41 traders as of now. At kumikita na din kahit wala masyadong marketing, meron naman ding newcomers sa trading po.
Yan.
Yun lang po sa akin sa trading po na perspective.
Sir Marix, nakamute po kayo.
Yes, may katanungan po ba sa ano natin, sa mga audience pa natin? Wala na ba siguro, no? So far, yan, Sir Robin, wala naman sigurong katanungan from from the audience.
Sige.
So Sir Peter, sir,
Yep, go.
may tanong ka, sir?
Go ahead, Sir Marix.
Okay. So, yan na. So far, wala namang mga katanong. Ay, Ma'am Yoko. Yes, Ma'am Yoko.
Hello?
Klaro po, ma'am.
Naririnig po ba ako?
Yes po,
Okay.
klaro po.
Okay, thank you so much po. So may question na po kasi na-tap in na rin yung topic about SEC. So I'm very interested talaga sa topic sa SEC because I haven't really fully understand it, how it works. So yung question ko lang po for all of I don't know if it's aligned within the AMA na, but I just want to ask it. So what do you think talaga is the main thing to avoid right now for content creators or maybe newbies in the space? Ano po talaga yung very main thing that they should avoid to do right now para at least hindi sila ma-flag ng SEC? Like things na parang i-avoid nila throughout their journey in the space. So, yun lang.
Yan. Sir Ruben, baka may mano ka, sir, regarding sa SEC?
Yes, ano nga yung question? Parang na-cut off kasi.
Ang tanong ni ma'am is, ano ba yung pwedeng gawin, no? Like, para hindi daw ma-flag ng SEC. Tama ba po, Ma'am Yoko?
Yes po. What are the things that we should avoid doing, especially now na because of the yung na-establish na ginawa ng SEC. So, as newbies here in the space, especially like mga students, what they show, ano yung dapat i-avoid nila para dili sila ma-flag ng SEC?
Yeah, okay. I think with regards yung sa SEC issue, I think everyone is very highlighted dyan and worries a lot. Kasi nga, nagkaroon ng mga policy. Pero here's the thing, sa akin kasi, my personal opinion with that, hindi kasi yan siya absolute in the sense kasi nagbabago yung, for example, yung incumbent administration or nagkakaroon ng different conceptualized, and we can really easily grasp na yung government natin is really trying to learn the industry. Nasa stage pa siya na gano'n. So merong maraming tawag nito, mga unclear or no clarity with regards to some policies. I think yung US din, if we can like observed way back before, tumaan din sila sa ganyan na setup. Nagkaroon ng walang clarity and ang daming voices out from misinformation and miseducation, kaya nagkaroon ng negative sentiments at saka parang sobrang forceful yung policy. And of course, what happened now, as education propagates, like ngayon, nagkaroon na ng mga leaders na were really able to understand the dynamics yung industry itself, not to the context of value, kasi nga sa atin, whether we like it or not, yung industry natin, since we amplify the concept of ownership, so merong value talaga. Kasi when we compare it to a Web2 concept, if we participate of, like for example, on a social media, wala tayong nakukuhang value from it aside from using. Yung value natin is as a usage. Ngayon kasi is, if you, like for example, participate on a Web3 social FI, kung ano man yung trajectory ng platform, is meron kang exposure or value. So, kumbaga, compounded na siya to the user itself, to the context of ownership. So, hindi talaga may iwasan yan. But, I think, due diligence talaga pinaka-importante, and be patient. And of course, as a good citizen, we need to follow what's the existing policies na binibigay. And in behalf of that, you have other options naman na you could navigate, like becoming a truly verified educator. I think government from different aspects, from different regions have been open with that. So yan yung I think pinakamaganda, and net positive din kasi kung titingnan mo if you're really pushing for education. Kasi if you really understand the industry on the conceptualization of investment aspect and value, mas manavigate mo siya ng maayos. Kasi you know everything, how it works, how everything runs from top to bottom. Ang mahirap kasi dyan, I think ang policy ng SEC is they're trying to police the concept of repackaging the industry as only a value. Kung yayaman ka dito, you will earn a lot from here without explaining everything from top to bottom. I mean from bottom to top in the sense. So mahirap 'yun kasi it will definitely turn into catastrophic in the sense kung titingnan natin na if we're doing promises na tawag ito, upfront lang with regards to value. Kasi if you're really embedding yourself dun sa tech, sa industry itself, it really widens your perspective. So, of course, if ever you infuse investment thesis, it widens also ang trajectory niya. And you get a lot more safer comparing dun sa you're just trying to extract you on a very short term concept, like kung ano man yung ginagawa na iba, like for example what happened with Memcoin, even though it matures already. So yun, the best thing to navigate is really, of course, in the context of personal, go to a community, then spend your time more with education muna for the moment, then excel, upscale from there. You never know what will happen. Baka you'll be able to be more skillful na meron ding ibang niche ka na ma-discover along the way. So yun yung I think my answer to that.
Thank you so much po. Follow-up question na, dapat ito